Hey, thanks for joining me for this video. If you're like me, you have tons of these empty bottles laying around, and they're too good to throw out, but there's not a lot you can do with them. I mean, you can put the different tops on them and make blends or samples and give them to friends, but I'm going to show you a super easy way to turn these into some awesome lights. And these lights can be great for doing a vendor event, if you're doing a booth, if you're doing a class, if you're having some friends over. It's a great way to just get everyone together, bring all their empties and make a cool DIY craft. You can use them for Christmas lights, decorate the kids, the dogs, whatever. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First of all, we're going to go wash our bottles. I recommend cleaning out the bottles before you do the project. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. I like to keep it simple and do it easy, so I just wash them out with water and soap. Pull the cap off. And I just have the caps and the orifice reducers in some soapy water. I'll stick it in there, shake it up, let them soak, and then just rinse them off. If you have a sticker on the top of your bottle, I like to peel it off because when you drill a hole, it kind of makes a mess of it. And so if you don't leave it on, whatever, I like to clean it off. When you peel off the sticker, a lot of times you'll leave some, or you'll see some residue on there. You can get some lemon or wild orange, any of the citrus. Put a little bit on a paper towel. Give it a bit of a rub, and it'll take that gooey, sticky stuff right off, and then you can just throw it in, wash it up. So take that, take the orifice reducers out. You can pull them out with your fingers. If they don't come out, you can always use a knife to pry them out. There's also tools you can get to pop them out, or you can also use the lid too. Just do a little bit, and then it'll pull out. So pull those out, soak it in, and then for the bottles, I just let them run under hot water for about 20 or 30 seconds, and the hot water running will it'll help get the oil out and rinse them out. So just stick them under there. Just let them do that for 20-30 seconds, and if you're using something like a peppermint or a breathe, you get a nice clearing of your airways as you do this. And then when you're done, you put them on a drying rack, or if you have dishwasher, just stick it over one of the things in the dishwater and let it drip dry for a little while. Oh, and you guys want to see something crazy? Let me adjust this here. This is my kitchen. And this is my kitchen flooring. Yes, it's carpet, and yes, it is plaid. Maybe I should do, if enough people want to see the rest of the house, it's equally as crazy. Leave a comment or shoot me a message, and maybe I'll do a video on the house. Alright, now that your bottles, lids, and orifice reducers are dry. I usually let them dry overnight if you're in a hurry, a few hours or whatever. So what you're going to need is a drill and something to cut with. So for the drill, you're going to drill a hole in the lids, and so you want your drill bit to be just slightly bigger than the lights you're using. I'm using LED lights. These came off of Amazon. They're about $10. They're battery powered. They have different flashers, different modes, but you can use incandescent or the more traditional Christmas lights or whatever you find, plug-in or battery. Battery is awesome if you're doing vendor events or whatnot because you can just throw them in your bag and you go. You don't have to worry about getting power. So we're going to drill a hole in the lid, and I'll show you kind of as these come together why. These are kind of nice because if you can see right on the top, there's actually a little divot there. Perfect spot to put your drill bit in. And if you don't have a drill, you can ask a friend to borrow one, and there are even some tool rentals at Home Depot or Lowe's. I don't know if they have drills, but you should be able to find one fairly easily. So let's switch around. You want to put something underneath your drill bit as it goes through so you don't drill a little divot in your table. Don't ask me how I know that. So you got your hole in there, and then you're going to slide this over your lights like that. Now we're going to take our orifice reducer, and we're just going to cut. For this you can use, I use a utility knife. You could use an X-Acto knife if you had one, or a kitchen knife, whatever. These are fairly cheap at hardware store, but if you just have a kitchen knife, that works fine as well. So I'm going to cut it up here. About like that. And the reason why is because these have holes that get smaller. I cut one in half. Let me grab it if you can see that. So this is an orifice reducer. It's bigger here and it gets smaller there. So if you're trying to put your wires down in here, it gets tight. So if you lop that bottom part off, you have a lot more room up here to stick your wires in. It makes it easier. But it depends. If you have really thick wires, you do that. If you have thin wires, probably not a big deal. So cut it there and then just put a slit in it part way, just on the half of it. And that'll allow you to open this up and put the wires in. Here's like my curtains in the background. Pretty awesome, huh? 5 minutes, maybe I'll show you the carpet too. We have blue carpet in here to match these curtains. So you just stick the wires in like that. It'll close in around them. And then grab your bottle, stick your light in there, and then just stick your reducer in, pop it in there, just like that. And you can actually adjust the light if you want it farther in or farther out. And then you can put the lid on, screw it on. Ta-da! Now there's different ways you can do it. Some people just like to do this, or some people will leave the orifice reducer out and just put the lid on, just drill a hole in the lid. That works, but they can be loose, and if you're hanging them up or if you're taking them to a class, it'll fall out. This way they're nice and secure. They're not going to come out. And some people, if you don't have a drill, you could just cut the top off, kind of on the edge where these bumps are here. You could actually just saw this off, go around, and then you'd have completely no top, but then on the side it would look like you had that side and it would still hold the orifice reducer in. So you don't have a drill, that's an option. The best way I like is to do this. It's nice and clean, it looks normal, and you can rock and roll. So you just keep doing that, drill holes in the lids, cut the orifice reducers, and it depends on the design. For the one I made, I did every other one. I put a big one. You may want to do a big and a little, or a big and two littles, just depending on your bottles, depending on what you want to do. And that is basically it. Once you do that, you put your batteries in your LEDs, and you're good to go. It should only take you, I don't know, it takes a little while, but it doesn't take too long to get all these done and have your lights done. Super fast, super easy. And shoot me a comment if you have any questions. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for joining me.